Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the solution of the problem, that is count the number of ways to tile up the floor of dimension n cross m with tiles of dimension 1 cross m. So we have already seen the problem statement in the previous video. Since this problem covers the topic of DP, so we are going to solve it, with the help of DP. So we are going to create a DP of size n plus 1, where n is nothing but the length of the floor that we need to tile up. Length of the floor that we need to tile up. We need to assign a meaning to this dp. So suppose at dp of I, what data it is going to hold. So it is going to hold that if we have a floor of dimension I cross m, where m is the width of the floor, what what are the distinct ways in which we can tile up this floor, distinct ways in which we can tile up the floor. So what dp of n is going to hold, dp of n is going to hold that if we have a floor of dimension n cross m, so what are the distinct ways in which we can tile up that floor. So this is our answer that we need to return. Okay, now three scenarios can be generated while solving this problem. First is when length of this floor is less than the width of the floor. Basically, L is less than W. Second one is when L is equal to W, length is equal to the width of the floor. And the third one is when length is greater than the width of the floor. Okay, so we will take a look at each of these cases one by one. So suppose when length is less than the width of the floor, suppose this is length and this is width, definitely length is less than the width of the floor, then what will happen? So we can only place the tiles that has been provided to us, that has the dimension of 1 cross m. So instead of writing L and W, we can write it as and m. Okay, so n and m. We have a tile of dimension 1 cross m here. It is in a horizontal fashion, and this is in a vertical fashion, and this is in a horizontal fashion. Okay, now what will happen if we try to place this tile on our floor? So if we place our tile in a horizontal fashion, definitely it is going to cover our entire floor. Okay, so there can be one possible way when we place the tiles in a vertical fashion. Okay, now what will happen if we try to place our tile in a horizontal fashion? Definitely the tile is going to exceed the boundary of our floor. So this thing we need to avoid. So there will be only one possible way. There will be only uh, there will be only one possible way in which we can cover a floor having length less than the width. That is if we place our tiles in a vertical fashion. So for L, so for basically n less than m, there will be one possible way. Now what will happen if n is equal to m? So we'll see. We will take our tile that is placed in a vertical fashion. So we are going to try to cover our floor. Okay. So if we place our tile in a vertical fashion, it is going to cover the entire floor. Okay. Now, what will happen if we try to place it in a horizontal fashion? So it is going to cover almost, since I have not drawn this on a scale, so there are some discrepancies here. Okay, so it is going to cover horizontally. But what will happen if we try to place both horizontal and the vertical tiles on this floor? So suppose we have placed a vertical tile here. If we want to place a horizontal tile here, it is going to exceed the boundaries of our floor. So there will only be two possible ways. Either we can place all the tiles horizontally or all the tiles vertically. So for n is equal to m, there will be two possible ways. Now what will happen if n is greater than m? Okay, so we will see. So if we place the first tile in a vertical fashion, then what is this remaining uh, length? It is going to be n minus 1. Suppose this was n and this dimension is 1, so it will become n minus 1. So dp of n minus 1, what is going it is going to return? It is going to return that if we have a floor of dimension n minus 1 cross m, what are the ways in which we can tile up that floor? So dp of n minus 1, sorry, dp of n minus 1 will return us the value. Now if we place our first tile in a horizontal fashion, what will happen? Suppose we have placed this tile here. Now what will be the length of this remaining portion? It will be nothing but n minus m, because the dimension of the tile is m and the dimension of the floor is n, so the remaining part will be n minus m. So the dp of n minus m is going to hold the number of distinct ways in which we can tile up this area. Since if we consider this portion, it will be filled with only one possible ways, that is if we place the rest of the tiles in a horizontal way. If we try to place it in a vertical way, it is going to exceed the boundaries. So the total number of ways will be nothing but dp of n minus 1. That is if we place the first tile in a vertical fashion, and the second one if we place our tiles in a horizontal fashion. So dp of n minus 1 plus dp of n minus m will be the total number of ways when the length of the floor is greater than the width of the floor. So this was it for the solution. Now we will return dp of n, which will hold the answer that when our floor has a dimension of n cross m, what will be the distinct number of ways in which we can tile up that floor. So that was it for the solution part. Now we are going to code the same thing that we have understood in this solution. So thank you.